in the last video, we talked about how the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines contain the mRNA that codes for the spike protein. So what happens is those vaccines contain the mRNA. It's in a packaging, which we'll talk about later. All right, that mRNA, when it goes into our cells, it goes to the ribosomes in our cells. And then the ribosomes take that mRNA and they turn it into the spike protein. So what you have is eventually that mRNA, like a couple hours to days after it comes in our body, it's going to get chewed up and get pooped out, okay? Or it's going to leave, all right? So what we're left with are these spike proteins, okay? And so our body, the immune system, is going to see those spike proteins and attack them. And the result is that eventually, if we were to be infected with actual COVID-19, our body would have antibody proteins that could bind to the spike protein part of the virus and then attack it and prevent us from being infected. So that's how that works. Now, you may be wondering, oh, by the way, those spike proteins, they will get degraded and disposed of as well, okay? So, you may be wondering, okay, Dr. GB, that sounds kind of weird. You're putting that protein in my body. Okay, let's bring this back to analogy land, okay? So we talked earlier about a recipe, all right? So let's say that I were to give the cinnamon roll recipe to my mom and my sister. But let's say I give them the cinnamon rolls recipe, but I only give them the recipe for the cinnamon filling. I don't give them the recipe for the dough. So if they go to bake it, all they're going to end up is this sugar cinnamon powder stuff. Is it delicious? Yes. Is it the cinnamon roll? No. So even though it might be delicious to munch on or put on something else, it's not the complete cinnamon roll and it doesn't have that same nutritional value or satisfaction that a full cinnamon roll would have. Similarly, with the COVID vaccine, our body is given the instructions to make one small part of the virus. Those instructions, as well as the resulting spike protein that is made, are eventually torn apart and recycled by our body, so they won't stay in our system long. But as a result, we have immunity to future attacks from the COVID-19 virus. I hope you enjoyed it. More coming later. Bye.